Check. Let me know when we're live.
Okay.
All right. Good evening and welcome to the March 4th, 2026 Planning Board meeting. Being held in the City Council chambers on the second floor. Of Mount Vernon City Hall. I'm going to, since we have so many people here this evening, please make sure that you silence your cell phones and any conversations that needs to be had, take them outside. Thank you very much. All right, item number one on the agenda is the roll call. I'm going to start on my left-hand side. Frank Trulio.
Jamel Thompson.
Darrell Celsey.
Charles White.
Vivian Salmon. Helene Jingham.
Let the record reflect that we do have a quorum. Item number two, and I'm going to lump the December 3rd, January 7th, and February 4th into one motion, as everyone had an opportunity to look at the minutes.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, is there a motion to accept the December 3rd, January 7th, and February 4th? December 3rd, 2025, January 7th, 2026, and February 4th, 2026 minutes?
Motion to accept.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. That was unanimous. Motion carries. Number three. It's an administrative item. This is 6.3, 6.8 Mount Vernon Avenue. And at a previous meeting of the planning board, we had voted to have staff council to draft the resolution. Has everyone have an opportunity to look at the resolution that was drafted?
I have.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Is there a motion to accept the resolution as presented? Is
So moved.
there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, aye. Motion carries. That was unanimous as well. Let's see, we are moving to the next item on the agenda. Thank you, sir. Which is a continuation of the public hearing 4.1, case number PB-25-3, 408 South 7th Avenue. Good evening, Mr. Badali. That is okay.
He doesn't have a mic.
He's a-
No, mic.
Oh, we'll give it to him. We'll share.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know.
Is that
The
okay?
podium, no, nothing. Room wasn't set up. It's over there.
Do you want me to pull it up? I don't mind.
Oh,
Thank you.
No, don't pull a handy over.
I mean, I know I'm skinny, but I think I can lift the podium. Okay, so basically, since we were last before you, we made several modifications to the site plan and to the building. No, they're minor, they're hopefully effective in their change. First of all, we've slightly modified just the front elevation the front landscaping, just to be a little more in line with the previous modification we made for the AC unit. Secondly, so we've provided a roof terrace as an exterior option for the tenants. I'm just gonna flip to the rendering.
So we saw that there was the roof option and also there was a balcony option as well, correct?
That's exactly correct. So we're really hoping to present the roof terrace option, but in the situation where the board may feel that's too impactful, we also are presenting a balcony at the rear of the building as well. As we were hoping to do one or the other.
Right.
So I'm just gonna flip to the floor plans just to display where that's at. So this is that first floor, which is basically a garage and an entryway. Then there's the main living space. So this was flipped. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see this. So the floor plan was flipped to provide the living space in the rear. The staircase was slightly adjusted so that it can meet the middle part of the rooftop terrace. And then so the master suite, let's call it the primary suite, is up in the front. And then now, so that affords us the capability of giving these balconies off the back of the building where previously the living space was in the front. Now, on the top floor, there's really not much modification. It was just an adjustment to get the stairs to line up. And then now on the roof plan, we're displaying these areas where we would have these rooftop accesses. We provided a picture here just to schematically show how it could be stylized. Where if somebody was to put benches or some plantings or something of that nature, we're not necessarily proposing to build in benches. We're necessarily even to provide plantings there as a part of this application. But that's just stylistically to show what it could look like up there.
Is that a sound barrier that you have there? What is that? The glass that's.
So this is actually the opening to get outside. So it'd be like a skylight hatch
Gotcha.
that operates and opens up from below the staircase, and that way you can get up and so it affords light into the space, and it's like a hatch. So kind of it's a good knack to not to have a bulkhead. Otherwise, we'd have to build a structure for the staircase route, and we didn't want to increase the height.
Right, okay.
So is there a sound barrier or not?
No, unfortunately, really, it's the roofs themselves that function as sound barrier. There's nothing currently proposed on the sides. But we could have a solid fence versus the see-through fence that we're proposing now. Or even a wall.
So you're saying you would prefer the roof instead of roof access as opposed to the balconies?
I think so. I think it'd be a better feature for the buildings. But that was, we're very open to the thought process.
Where footage on that?
The rooftops?
I got my question.
They're 15 by 13, figure 200 and change square feet
15, you said what?
by 13, so
15.
almost 200 square feet.
And the deck is 3x6.
The deck is pretty small. Yeah, it's for like 2 chairs, basically. You can't really put furniture on it, whereas here you would actually be able to, use it regularly.
And that would be like a common area.
They're each separated, so
Yeah.
they are fully private for each person. And they'd be,
What's the size and how many people could you accommodate there?
how many people could stand there or,
Yeah.
I mean,
Or sit, like, got couches there to sit down.
I would say 4 to 6 would be realistic in the maximum sense of how much furniture you can really place there. I wouldn't expect there to be that many people regularly, but I'd say how much can you really fit in the maximum?
Just trying to get a sense, because, there was, some concern, discussion in regards to the noise level that may affect the neighbors in the immediate area, so just wanted to, see, what that size.
I'll give you like the engineer building code answer, which is they'll say 200 square feet as a person, but it's not realistic, right? I mean, realistically is you could fit way more than a person in 200 square feet. So I think just based on furniture placement and the fact that the house is a 3-bedroom house, I wouldn't expect there to be more 3 or 4 people, maybe with guests up to 6. That's what I would expect.
I just wanted to get a sense, because, again, the noise, making sure that, that is taken into consideration, and not wanting to be, too many people.
Yeah, and there's no sound devices or anything proposed up there.
I'm gonna turn this over to Commissioner Sam right now.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Chairman. I do appreciate that. So, and thank you for sharing. And
Thank you.
obviously the updates that we talked about at that last meeting. So thank you so much, but I still have concerns with the sound. The Seventh Avenue is very dense, and it's a very close population, if you would say. And it's a traditional inherited population, but people have lived on Seventh Avenue for many, many years.
100 plus probably, yeah.
That we have to be respectful of that kind of quality of life and that quality of care that people want when they come home from work, or if they're working from home. So I'm concerned about the sound, obviously, for this roof. I'm also concerned about the safety of that particular roof, because many have children, and you said this is a 3-story complex, and I'm quite sure no one's gonna move in without having a pair of children, if you would say.
One would
within that
hope.
particular
Yep.
community, but you never know in life, right? So I'm concerned about the safety for children on that particular roof. And I'm also, like I said before, concerned about how that is going to affect the stretch of houses and obviously the community within that area. The second thing I'm concerned about is that you presented a balcony. Thank you so much for presenting the balcony. I'm not sure how large the balcony is, but I'm quite sure you'll give us some in-depth information about the balcony. So I'm concerned about the balcony because children, kids are able to step across. I don't know what your safety mechanism is around that balcony.
Standard
And
guardrails.
how that would have to be secured, if you would say, so that, obviously kids are not gonna be able to either slip through because you just never know. And then also, I'm concerned about the back area, which is the garage, parking space area.
Okay.
Which is in between the common grounds, if I believe that's correct. In between the common grounds, I'm concerned that that is not, it's too far of a stretch. Say, for instance, someone's cooking at home and they want to just run out real quick, they have to go through the cars to get to their next space. And I'm just thinking that if you can reverse that, maybe that could be closer to where they're living. And then lastly, I'm concerned about if the parking, can we reverse the front entrance of the homes and have the parking garages in the front and giving them more common space in the back? Those are some of the concerns that I have presently right now. And I noticed that you have embraced the opportunity to have a little cover for the Havoc, which is that AC.
Oh, yeah,
That
yeah, sure.
AC thing. Thank you so much. I saw that.
Okay.
I do appreciate that, and thank you so much. And I was just thinking, if you flip the garage, would you be able to put that in the back instead of having that in the front? And those are just recommended suggestions that I,
Sure.
as one of the board members, and I want to say thank you for listening.
Okay. I could definitely touch base on some of those and why we made our design decisions, if that's cool. So I'll just touch base first of all on the parking. I mean, there was a desire to maximize the on-street parking that's there now. In doing so, providing one curb cut. And so really the only way to do that is to provide the parking in the back. Otherwise, we'd have separate curb cuts for each building. So we're gaining, let's say, maybe 3 or 4 more spaces on the street by doing that. The secondary item is that because of the setback requirement for a driveway, we typically wouldn't make it less than the length of a car in case somebody parks in that front yard. So actually the whole building would get pushed back. And then so that rear space really wouldn't get afforded, lastly, I have a personal preference of trying to design buildings with the least amount of visible garage doors as possible on them, just as a stylistic preference. And so those are kind of the genesis of why we put the parking in the rear yard. It was for the curb cut location, just for making the buildings more fronted on the street. And yeah, in terms of the backyard space, it could be flipped, but then we wouldn't be able to get into the garage. The driveway and the parking areas to be adjacent to the garage. And this zoning district does require the parking to be indoors. So we have to kind of get it indoors. So that's why we made that design decision too. Lastly, in terms of the outdoor space and the safety, I mean, I think the building code is robust. I do think that as long as those outdoor spaces are built properly with the right guardrails, we could lift them to a commercial height, which is 42 inches versus 36. Or even make them fully solid, so maybe, or if they were, I would present maybe a 42-inch high solid guardrail versus the 36-inch ones with spacings that we have now. And I think that's kind of like the maximum safety aside from fully enclosing it. So I don't know if you see that as a good suggestion, but I would suggest to make the guards that we propose now fully solid and 42 inches high versus 36 inches high.
That's for the balcony, correct?
For either one, for the roof terrace or the balcony. And I do want to reiterate that is our preference. So we are presenting the roof terrace right now as the option that we'd like to use, just because it gives us, a little more space. And so I would suggest that we would make that guardrail that's displayed, and I'm just gonna flip the page. Those are the edges that would, have a drop. I would suggest that those would be no less than 42 inches high and fully solid. That they would provide both a noise and a safety protection. Um,
Because, my concern would be the same as hers.
Okay.
You know, on the edges, but also in between each one. On the, no, yeah. Because, just that person, I would want it high between me and my neighbor, because I like to keep my windows open, doors open, especially in the summertime.
Sure.
And if I forget, I don't want my neighbor to hop the little short fence to come and rob me. I mean,
No, that's true.
so, for each side to make it a little bit.
What size is it now?
It's just a 36-inch railing right now.
Dividing?
Dividing, we could bring them up to the height of the ridge of the roof. It's
I was thinking, like,
approximately 5 to 6 feet.
yeah,
It would be a little bit less than 6 feet, and
Yeah.
that would, so the tops of all those fences or barricades could line up at the roofs.
Right.
That's definitely a great suggestion.
Screening too, right?
Yeah, so we can make them all, so we'll make them all solid and we'll make them all to that height. I can give you the exact number.
That's good,
A little more private.
a lot more privacy by doing it that way. Yeah.
And so it's like would be, the total height would be 5'8" of each fence. So visible on this. So all of these would be solid and would extend to the match that same ridge height.
And these not rentals, right?
It's not the
Everyone's
intent. As far as I know, that's not the intent.
These are not rentals, correct? These are homeownership.
I believe the intent is to market them and sell them once they're completed. And to have them as condos, for the sale purpose. That makes,
Single family townhouse there.
right, sorry, that's
Yeah,
what
townhouse.
that's what's called, sorry.
done.
Thank you.
Come back to you, to see. So where it says like bedroom one occupant, bedroom two occupants, why are you putting?
The building code requires us to show it. It's, yeah, the way the code works. The first 70 square feet gives us one person per bedroom. Every 50 square feet additional gives us another person. So 70 square feet will be a one-person room, 120 square feet will be a two-person room, 170 square feet, a three-per, and just so on. And just, the building department requires us to show it. Yeah. They put it on the CO and then they enforce it.
Yeah, no worries, just think. I think he took care of that first.
Yeah, with the landscaping, all right, let's talk about the landscaping improvements and that you're doing.
So we just kind of modified the landscaping a little bit in its layout and then changed some of the species based on some.
Sorry.
Bring it up.
Yeah.
Just change some of the species based on suggestions. So we now have some hollies in here. Dogwood. Arborvitae. Pear tree and a privet and then grass. Sorry, I
then-
keep turning it too much.
Then the HVAC.
Oh, sure, yeah. It's displayed here. So we're just showing a single outdoor HVAC condenser unit, and that would serve the entire building for each one. It'd be surrounded by a small little fencing plus the landscaping around it.
So the fence, what height, what's the height of the?
Just,
of the-
just
of the
3 feet.
condenser there?
The unit itself is, say, about 20 inches. It gets mounted anywhere from 2 to 4 inches off the ground usually. So it would typically be about 30 inches. The top crest would be about 30 inches off.
Then we're talking about a range of
36,
6.
yes.
So you wouldn't see.
The intent also would be, and it's less,
But then you're also gonna have the landscaping kind of around the bushes.
yeah, so it's less visible on this plan, unfortunately. Thank you for saying that. But yeah, the intent is for the landscaping to fully cover it. That's visible on this sheet here. So it'd be fully encircled in addition to that.
That was my question. I just want to go back to Commissioner Salmon in terms of the roof and with the height being where it is with the 5'8" and the 5'C" up there. You just want to get your input on that.
I still have concerns.
Okay.
However, that's just my concern.
No. I mean, they're your concerns,
I
but
still have
in
concerns
terms of,
about the whole group concept. I've spoken about it, I've talked about it, it's my second presentation on it. There's no safety, there's no soundproof, the Seventh Avenue is dense. You live right next door to one another, if you would say. And I believe that the quality would be somewhat compromised if you had a little party or if you had a celebration or whatever you do out there on that roof. And I just have concerns about that. People live at home, people want to come home and be at least in their relaxing environment. And I don't know how that will work on that particular street. I just don't know. And I feel that it will be, there would be some challenges. That's all. That's just my concerns. That's all.
I will mention that hypothetically, a party could be held either in that rear yard space it can, the sound would maybe project a little more from the roof. But if somebody wants to hold a party with sound, they would have the space for it, whether that be in the rear yard or the roof.
But I think we asked for sound proofing at the last meeting. How would that be complemented?
Sure.
I think that was asked at the last meeting, and I
I
think
do
I was
agree.
one of the ones who brought it up.
Right.
So I just did not see that presented tonight and how you would help mitigate.
Well, a solid wall as high as 5'8" would mitigate the sound,
let me ask a question in terms of having the wall at the 5'8".
Yeah.
but also, having, sound dampening elements in that wall. Can we actually have a 5'8"?
Yeah.
Sound dampening wall?
Absolutely. I'm sure, absolutely. I'm sorry if I didn't think about that, but absolutely. We could install similar elements that it's not like what you put in a soundproof room. They do make elements for outside. But just some raised features on that wall. Yeah.
The buildings are gonna be kind of blocked.
They're framed likely.
And you do, cause I see a lot in the duplexes, they'll build a block wall. And that forms as, and they fill it. And that forms as a sound barrier from one to the other, just saying, if it can be done quickly, I didn't know what the buildings are gonna be done, you just raise that and. I'm just asking. That's
Certainly
another,
can
that's
be.
another option.
Yeah, please.
Mark Warren. So the sound attenuation can be attained because the only place that you're really gonna have any sound effects leaving the building would be at the ends. And, putting in a 6-foot wall with sound attenuation in those walls would definitely deaden the sound. And the fact that these terraces or these roof terraces are in the middle of the building, there's no sound that's gonna be traveling back or front. So the sound attenuation, you can get the sound attenuation through stick building as well, just making it thick enough, absorbing the sound and, just enclosing it within that area. That would, prevent any kind of projection of sound.
I mean, I think in terms of, safety, certainly having, the height, the wall,
yeah.
that height.
Yeah.
That mitigates, safety concerns that I would have with children or anything of that
Yeah,
nature.
consider it an outside room. The sound, you would have an area in your private home that is enclosed. You wouldn't know your neighbors are having a party, or you wouldn't know your neighbors are hanging out on their roof because you have, your own privacy in your outside room.
So if they had the
I'm sorry.
noise, dampening and the walls being that height, how are you feeling? Just trying to get a sense, because listen, you live there.
I mean, I think it's a good selling feature of buying something, having that.
Yeah,
space.
I really understand your concern,
Okay.
but, in terms of sound attenuation, it's gonna be enclosed. The neighbors that are at the ends of each one of these buildings, I really, these buildings are gonna be just above their roofs as well. So it's not gonna travel down, it's gonna travel up. Again, that, to us, that's a, selling point. That's something that would, bring up the value of the property, value of the neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Do we have any questions from? Back all, no questions? Council, any questions? You good? Okay, all right. Okay, anyone out in, nope, there, nobody in the audience like to speak in regards to this application? All right, let me go around one more time. Any additional questions for the applicant?
Thank you.
Commissioner Salmon, is there anything else that you want to?
No, good.
Okay.
Somewhat, yes.
Otherwise,
No.
Christian, is there any motion to close the public hearing? I'll be the new secret? I don't think so. Okay. Thank you. We didn't do secret.
Couldn't hear you.
Pardon?
Yeah, no, you should do secret again.
Or not at the end.
Okay, so I can just read the questions real quick?
Yeah, let's go through it.
Okay, will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations? And so the answers are, no or small impact may occur, or else the other choice is moderate to large impact may occur. So I'll repeat the first question. Will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations?
Materials. Said material, right?
Material conflict, yes.
No.
Okay. Will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of use of land? So it's a vacant lot now. Small, okay. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? Okay. Will the proposed action have an impact on environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area? There is no critical in this area, okay. Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway? Okay, will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? Small, okay.
Small, maybe. What is it? No small, right?
Yeah, no and small are the same. It would have to be like moderate or big for the other choice. Will the proposed action impact existing public or private water supplies or public or private wastewater treatment utilities? Okay. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources?
No.
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources such as wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, and fauna? Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? And then the last one is, will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health?
No.
Okay, we're all set. So, based on those findings, you could, a negative declaration, yeah.
So I'll make the motion that we issue a negative declaration in regards to seeker.
Second.
Right, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Now I'll make a motion to close the public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
Right, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Okay. Um. Give me 1 second, so write down a couple. Make a motion to approve the application with to have council draft the resolution to approve the application with following conditions. That there be a, if there's possible to have a 6 foot instead of the 5'8". Solid sound dampening wall. Okay, for the roof. Also, I believe that we still have to have a perk test done for the water level. Granite curb cut also. Let's see, was there anything else that I was missing? Yeah, in terms of safety, like saying with the wall, right? So those were, okay, all right. So that would be the motion with the following. Was there anything that additional that you mentioned that we didn't?
I'm just looking at my notes from last time.
I think that, they revised everything else, and it's on the plans, the way that it was. Also, was there anything that? Nothing.
Yeah, it was that the percolation test is what I had in my notes from last time. Yeah,
Right.
so we got that covered.
Okay. All right. All right, is there a second to the motion? All right, so we have a motion and we have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed signify by saying nay. And all opposed, and if there are any abstentions. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ayes and 1 nay, so the motion carries. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Is there anything else on anything administrative that we need to talk about?
It's got you to sign this. That's it.
Okay. All right.
There.
Oh. Oh, yes, that's the resolution that we had before. That was the
That
building.
was the resolution we drafted before that we.
Right. So we're signing that today. Okay.
I think she's saying the, next meeting is the 8th.
The next meeting is going to be April 8th. Okay.
Oh, really?
Okay, so next meeting is going to be April 8th, not April 1st. Okay, and with that, I'm going to make a motion that we adjourn for the evening.
Second.
All right, all in favor, signify